All right, so we've got one last video this week. We have to work on rotations and what it looks like to rotate something around a fixed axis. So that is kind of my demonstration of what a rotation is. We'll see how that kind of turns out. Sorry, the iPad thing kind of rolled in there a little bit. But again, so there's a 90-degree rotation. There's a 180-degree rotation. There's a 270-degree rotation. And there's a 360-degree rotation. So we're going to look at mainly the clockwise rotation. So we're going to have to do a little bit of scratching out here of some of the things we've got, but whatever. So the rules. In geometry, a transformation is an operation that changes a shape and creates a new shape. A rotation is an example of a transformation where a figure is rotated about a specific point called the center of rotation, a certain number of degrees. Common rotations are done about the origin. So most of our rotations are going to be on our XY axis, and they're going to rotate exactly from 0, 0. And it's going to rotate a certain number of degrees. Now again, you got to keep in mind that some things are done counterclockwise and some things are done clockwise. And we're going to concentrate on the ones that are done clockwise. So we're not going to look at this first one here. That's going to be a counterclockwise rotation of 90 degrees, and we like to talk about things that go clockwise because that's the way our clocks go. So the first one we're going to talk about is we're actually going to talk about the last one, and we're going to call this not negative 90. We're going to call this a 90-degree rotation clockwise. And if we have a 90 degrees angle of rotation that's done clockwise, what's going to happen to my original y and x values is that we're going to switch our y's and x's. Our x is going to become our y and our y is going to become our x, and then we're going to do the opposite of whatever our x value was. Okay, so again, that needs to be in your notes, and in your notes you're going to put a 90-degree clockwise, and if you want to put the word rotation in there. If you've got that 90-degree clockwise rotation, your x value and y value are going to switch, and then your x value is going to become the opposite. The only other one we're worried about is what if we have a 180-degree rotation. Now, 180-degree rotation doesn't matter if it's clockwise or counterclockwise. It's going to be the same thing. So we can just put a 180-degree rotation. And what's going to happen to my x and y values when we do that is my x and y values are just going to become the opposite of what they originally are. Now, again, we've talked about this. Make sure that you get this in your notes. I don't remember this, so I don't expect you guys to remember it either. That's why you need to get this in your note. In fact, once I flip the page here, you're going to see that I already have it pasted over there because I have a tendency to forget these too. So make sure that you get these into your notes, okay? So let's take a look at these. I'm going to go ahead and scratch this first one off because we're not using that at all. Everything we do is going to be a clockwise rotation. So let's say that I have these points: 4, -3, 2, 3, 2, -3, 1, -2, and 3, 0. We're going to do a 90-degree clockwise rotation. So my original P image was 4, -3. We're going to rotate this direction. So we want to figure out what our new degrees are going to be if we rotate it 90 degrees. So it's going to be P prime. So we said our x and our y values switch spots. So this is going to become, and then the x value, the y value stays the same. So we're looking at this. So we're looking at this one right here. So our y value stays the same. So our y value is -3. So that's going to stay -3. But my p value or my x value is going to go to the opposite. So it was 4. So it's going to be -4. So this new point is going to be at -3 and -4. So that P point is rotated way over there. The Q was at 2, -3. So my new image is going to be at -3, -2, -3, -3, -2. So my Q image is rotated to right there. The R image was at 1, negative 2. So my R prime image, they switch spots. Again, I'm going to look again. They switch spots, and my X value becomes its negative. So that's going to be negative 2, negative 1. So it's going to be right there. That's my new R prime. And then my last one, S, was at 3, 0. So my S prime, my Y value goes there, and it becomes 0, negative 3, which is right there. So this is my new image that's been rotated about the origin 90 degrees. And you're done. Okay. So let's see if it'll let me grab this thing here, my picture. Yep. Okay, so there's the first one. So let's go down to, maybe we've got another picture down there. Yeah, we've got another one down there. We can see them both at the same time. All right, so with this next one, let's do a rotation of 180 degrees. So when we rotate 180 degrees, let me erase all this now. If we rotate 180 degrees, my X and Y values, if I look, 180, my X and Y values just become negative. So my P was at 4, negative 3. They're just going to become the opposites of it, 4 and 3. My Q value was at 2, negative 3. My new image is going to be at negative 2, 3. My R was at 1, negative 2. Again, we're just going to write the opposites of them. So R prime is at negative 1, 2. And my S was at 3, 0. So my new S is going to be at negative 3, 0. So we can graph those points. Negative 4, 3 is right there. Negative 2, 3 is right there. Negative 1, 2 is right there. And negative 3, 0 is right there. So there's our new image, rotated 180 degrees. Okay. Again, I'm going to go ahead and copy this. I don't think I have it on the next one. Okay, so let's go to the next example. See the new examples. Paste this on here so I know what I'm doing. We're just going to do one this time, and we'll call it good. And we should be good to go. So the first thing I need to do is I kind of need to name all my points. Well, what do we want to do this? Let's do a 90 degree clockwise rotation. So my I value, if I count, is at 1, 2, 3, negative 4, 4. My I prime, I'm going 90 degrees clockwise. I'm going to move this up a little bit. It lets me. It's not going to let me. 90 degrees clockwise. My X and Y switch, and my X becomes the opposite of it. So this is going to be 4, 4. My C value is at 1, 3. Switch them around and then make the X value negative. So 3, negative 1. My B value is at negative 1, negative 1. So my new B value is going to be at negative 1, 1. And my A value is at negative 2, negative 1. So my A prime value is going to be at negative 1, 2. Graph those points real quick. 4, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, negative 1, negative 1, 1, and negative 1, 2. There's my new image, rotated 180 degrees about the origin. And there it is. So again, I can't stress enough. You seen what I was doing when I was doing this. You heard me pausing. You heard me doing all those types of things. It's because I had to remind myself what this is. Make sure that you have these two things inside of your notes. Okay, that's 180, and this is 90 degrees clockwise. last video of the year 2024. So I hope everybody has a great break. Good luck on your quiz that you're going to have on Friday, and we will see you on January 2nd.